Right, so first things first, when I come to the chart and I load up my trading view, I've got my currency pair or my commodity. So in this particular instance, we're looking at gold against the dollar. All right. Now, when I'm doing my analysis, one thing that I like to use is the trading sessions on the indicator. So I will type in trading sessions, and this gives me the three major trading sessions in the Forex market. So we've got the Asia session, the London session, and the New York session. So you can see on the screen here that it's been identified with the three different colours, and it says the name of the session at the bottom of the panel just down here. Now, the first thing that I like to do when I come on is I always look at the previous session first. So for example, I trade during UK hours, so I always look at the Asia session first before making a decision on what price might be doing. So we're going to dive straight into the analysis. I'm going to tell you exactly what it is and show you exactly what it is that I do. So I'm currently on the 5-minute time frame. I like to start down at this level and at this time frame. I always have, but I do look at the higher time frames to get an overall picture of what's going on. So first things first, I would highlight the Asia high from the previous session, and I would drag that all the way across like so, and I would do the same for the Asia low. So I would come down to the Asia low, I would pull this all the way across, and again I'm going to go off the idea that London hasn't actually opened yet, and we're just getting ready for the London session to open. Now, I've highlighted the Asia high, so I'm going to write Asia high at the top, and then I've highlighted the Asia low. We'll come on to why these levels are so important in a little while. But for now, we're going to start to pick out other bits and other things that might help us with getting or more confidence to get into a trade idea. So as retail traders, one of the skill sets that we have is to look for areas of support and resistance. And this gives us clues as to whether we've got buyers present in the market or we've got sellers present in the market. So again, just looking at it as we are now, I can see that price has been respected when we've been underneath this level. So I'm going to draw my line all the way across here. And we can see every time we've been underneath this level, sellers have pushed price down. Okay, so this is an area of resistance. So I'm going to label it up resistance. The other thing to notice is that not only is this a level of resistance, but it's also a key psychological level in the market, which is usually a whole number. So this is at $4,000 an ounce exactly. So I'm going to put a psychological level. And we know that the market uses these psychological levels as support and resistance. We also know that support and resistance is interchangeable. So at the minute, we're currently underneath it and it's been used as resistance. Okay, so I found my key level of resistance. I'm going to go and have a little look at a key level of support here. So again, remember, I'm trading in the Asia session, so I need to have a little look over here. Obviously, we've had support at the Asia low here. It's come back and it's been used as support again. So again, this is probably a key area of support. So I'll just label that there. And again, I'd be interested to see what price does when it comes back down here. Now again, remember, we're trading as if London's not opened yet. So I need to start marking some things out for some possible setups. Now, if I zoom out, I can see that on the 5-minute chart, we are very bearish overall. Okay, so very bearish on the smaller time frame. So what I would start to do on the back of this is start to make some more notes up at the top. So I'll say smaller time frame, bearish. Again, let's get a bigger picture of what's going on. Let's jump up to the 4-hour and then let's see what we are on the higher time frame. Again, we'll zoom right out. You can clearly see that we're bearish as well. So I'm going to drop back down to the 5-minute, back to where I was with my analysis. And all I'm going to do is where I've written smaller time frame bearish, I'm also going to write higher time frame bearish. Okay, now in this instance, my bias for the day would probably be to catch some sells. Okay, and again, depends because everybody's trading plan and trading strategy is different. So you might see an opportunity to buy even though we are in a bearish market. We might be a little bit more aggressive with your trade management. The other thing I'm going to mark out is 4,000 as psychological level. So make a note of that. I'm also going to make a note of the fact that On the RSI, during the Asia session, we were oversold during Asia. So again, that might give us a clue that there is an opportunity to take some buys, but again, we need some more confluences. The other thing that I can see on the 5 minute is that the Asia session left some bullish FVGs. I can see in this instance on here that this is probably an area buyers deemed fair to buy from. So I'm going to mark this up in green as well, just to make sure everything's colour coordinated. So again, I would probably anticipate and see what's going to happen when price comes back into this area. It did actually make another one just above here. Okay, so we've got another bullish FVG here. And again, I'm just going to drag it all the way across because it's still relevant, because we're just pretending that the London session isn't open just yet. Okay, so starting to mark a few things down. Can actually see there's some possible opportunities for some buys based on structure. However, because of the way that I trade, I would quite like to be on the right side of the trend. However, if there is an opportunity that aligns with my confluences, I'll be more than happy to try and take a buy opportunity. So I've got quite a few things marked out here. The next thing that I could do is mark out areas of liquidity. What's liquidity? Well, liquidity is money resting in the market. So what I would try and do is I would have a little look on the 5 minute here for possible areas where price might go and take some more money to push higher or lower. So you can see at the Asia high, we've got some wicks up here. So I'm just going to use my little circle to mark up the fact that in this area here, we've got some orders or some money resting in this particular area in the market, which again gives me a good clue that price might come back to this level. You can also see, just coming back from the day before, New York made a low down here, and again, I know one thing's for sure, that there's money resting here, so price might come down lower before it goes higher to collect more money to go and push into the next area of liquidity. On the back of that, what am I doing now? Well, I'm probably going to wait for price to do one or two things. I'm going to wait for price to come back up towards this psychological level, and I'm going to see what happens there, and then make a decision on whether I'm going to take maybe a sell opportunity. Or I'm going to wait for it to come down and take the Asia low, or possibly even come up and take the Asia high, and then make a decision based on that. One thing we know about the market is that normally major sessions get swept and taken. So fast forward to the London session, and if we drag this Asia high across, you can see that through the London session, we actually ended up taking the Asia high and breaking back above this psychological level here. And again, dragging it all the way across, you can see that once we broke this level, when it retraced and came back, instead of using it as resistance, it was used as support. So again, more evidence to show that these support and resistance levels are constantly interchangeable. Okay, now what would I be looking for based on this now? Well, I know that we've broken above this level and we've respected the bullish FVGs from the Asia session. I'll possibly be looking to see about taking a buy opportunity based on the intraday trend. The intraday trend is just the way that price is moving in that particular day, even though overall we are bearish. Okay, so that's how I would mark up my chart in the morning. That's how I would provide myself with more clues as to what's happening next. I've not done a lot in terms of highlight too many things, but I've just identified a couple of key areas that might be useful for when I take a trade idea. And again, every morning, 8 o'clock, I come on and I mark out exactly what happened in Asia and see if there's any other opportunities coming up for me in the market. So yeah, I hope you found this useful. I've done 4 videos on YouTube now, and I'm trying to provide as much free education on day trading as possible. If you found this useful, feel free to drop me a message or drop a comment, and I will see you on the next one.